and this is a video review on DC Direct Elseworld Superman Red Sun Green Lantern. Another figure from the Elseworlds figure line. And this is Hal Jordan as he does appear in the Superman Red Sun storyline. Just a quick little, info about why he looks like this, why he looks like a regular old pilot. In that storyline, where obviously Superman lands in Soviet Russia, the difference here with Green Lantern storyline is they find Abinsur's ship, and rather than Hal Jordan taking over the Green Lantern mantle, the government, the Air Force, what have you, probably some other branch of military or whatever, they take in a ship, they investigate the ring, the power battery, and they basically weaponize it. So that's why he doesn't have like the full costume and whatnot. And I believe there's actually a panel in the whole thing about creating a Green Lantern army. And in that sense, they kind of create their own Green Lantern Corps. So there's that. This figure is, I can't find any copyright print on him, on the actual figure. Or wait, no, I just found it. This figure is, yes, from 2007. And, judging from, originally I was going to judge it from his base, but this says 2007 as well. And this is his base, which says Green Lantern, Superman Red Sun, and Elseworlds on it. And before we get started, let's just get a quick height measurement on him. He stands right at 6.5 inches. So, still generally in the 7-inch scale. Now, granted, his legs aren't straight up. I mean, due to the sculpt, despite the articulation, due to the sculpt, his knee right here is kind of stuck in this position. So there's that. Here's a size comparison with New 52 Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. You can see he's slightly shorter. And if I can grab the only DC UC figure I have, here he is next to DC Unlimited Aquaman, and they actually scale pretty well. And here he is with a Marvel Legend. I have here Winter Soldier Captain America, which stands a bit shorter than him. So there we go. So yeah, a lot of nice detailing on this figure. But like I've said before, a lot of these older DC Directs are just basically nice display pieces with slight variation in terms of posability, but not great action figures. Not great proposing, just slight things here and there. So let's get a closer look on him, and you can see a lot of nice sculpted detail on the figure. See a lot of that nice green, especially on the strap right here. And his goggles, and you can actually see eyes in there. It's pretty nice. And if we just go a bit higher there, whoop. See a lot of nice sculpting on the actual hat or the cap, whatever you want to call it. My favorite piece of detailing is actually the collar, the fur collar. A lot of nice dry brushing and highlights on there. And continue down the figure, you can see his name, Hal Jordan, and even in person I can't read what that says on his patch. So it's a very small print. There is lettering on there, but I can't quite read it. And I haven't read the comic in a while, so I don't recall if that is actually Ferris Air or if it's something else. I believe he's actually still American in the story. Like I said, it's been a while since I read it. But again, sculpting on the back right there. I got a little nick on my figure, but it's fine. This is power battery, which has a very what would you call it? Art Deco design. I actually really like it. It's very stylized. Now my camera, depending on what you're watching on, at least through my viewfinder, it's very bright green, very neon green. It's not that green in person. I mean, it's still nice and vibrant, but it's a lot more of like a regular shade. as opposed to being super vibrant on here. If I can give me a sec. So here's, of course, I would drop it, and oh, there it is. We don't need the handle, but you know, here is compared to a standard power battery. This one's from Guy Gardner, but the Hal Jordan Blackest Night one has the same kind, and you can see, yeah, just a standard power battery compared to the one that comes with this figure. And they took some liberties, like without having little the top bit up here. You know, I enjoy it. Now you can see on this one, there's like there's a clear bit on the inside, whereas this is just all one solid piece. And this is actually a piece of wire. I'm pretty sure this is a painted piece of wire. So this is the metal part. This is plastic. You know, even in person, I don't know why it's not focusing that well. But I would have liked some variation, like a brighter green on the inside. But it's fine. It's fine. Now back to the figure. See his belt right there. And actually, the sculpt of the belt, just due to because the way they cut it and the articulation, actually makes it look seamless. So I do appreciate that. See a lot of nice leather work on the pants, and shit right here. A lot of nice detail on the boots. Very nice. And he has sculpted treads and one peg hole for his stand, and the other one's just filled in. So there's that. Now articulation on this guy, like I said before, older DC Direct, so pretty. You know, it's there. It's okay. It doesn't really. You know, he's not super dynamic like a Marvel Legend. So let's go through it. His head is on a ball joint. There we go. His head is on a ball joint. It looks up pretty far. Looks down a decent amount. And it can pivot. To be honest, the ball joints on a lot of these older figures are probably the best part. That kind of allows you to emote them a bit. There's that. His arms are on a swivel hinge. Doesn't go up very far on either shoulder right there. And they do rotate all the way around. No bicep rotation. He does have a single joint elbow. This one goes in a bit further. If I didn't point it out, it's a very asymmetrical sculpt. And then this one is just kind of a 90-degree angle as opposed to this. And he does swivel at the wrists. So I mean, due to the way this is sculpted and how it goes in a bit more, you can kind of get your standard or your Green Lantern pose, you know, posing as a running up to his face like that. And like I pointed out before, he does have rotation at the waist, which is pretty seamless due to the sculpt and the way or where they cut it. His legs don't move forward that well. They move back really far. That's just due to the nature of the T-joint. They don't move out at all. Bends at the knee, like so. So is the other leg. But like I said, due to the sculpt, you can see the kneecap right there. Or at least the sculpt of the pants. That's not going to go any further, so that's not going to straighten out. So there's that. And then he does have rotation at the boot. And nothing in the ankles. So there's that. So like I've said before in previous videos, nice display piece, pretty subpar action figure. But I do like this design. I do like I do appreciate a lot of the sculpt on these older figures. So that's why they appeal to me. That might not be the same for you. And one last thing I actually didn't point out. You can kind of see it. There's a nice subtle green like highlighting or shading in the torso, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, there he is. DC Direct, Elseworld, Superman, Red Sun, Green Lantern.